keep on falling in love with you. Sometimes I love you, at times I feel used. Sometimes I feel good, at times I feel blue. Loving you, darling, makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never love someone way that I love you. Yeah. This was a song. Thank you. I swear I have a point. This was the song that, now that Usha auntie is here, that I sang first in the first recording that I ever did, which was just before my boards, a week before my boards, at Usha auntie's studio, at Vibrations. And also the song that I sang on the first day I ever bunked class in my life. I know it's a little unorthodox to brag and to start my speech by talking about the first time I ever bunked anything, and I know that doesn't really send a very positive message to all the young ones out there, but I swear I have a point and I'm going to come to it real soon. So there I was, a teenager fresh out of school. I went to La Martiniere for Girls right here in Kolkata, and I came from a school where I was encouraged to try out everything. To be a musician, to dance, to sing, to play, to be a sportswoman, to study, to do everything. We were raised to be unapologetically inquisitive, respectful but inquisitive. I was that kid who would always ask why and drive my teachers crazy. And there I was in chapter 2 in my life. I entered college in Chennai. I was doing dentistry. And it was a little unsettling for me at first because I went to an institution where even though they said it was an international college, my entire orientation happened in Tamil. And I was very scared, and I felt so angry at myself that I went to a place that I would probably not understand anything for the next 5-6 years. And I was so scared and so terrified of the choices that I had made. And then there was also this, my college didn't really believe in the same things my school did. They wanted us just to focus on studies and just to, and we were going to be doctors. So we really need to just focus on that. And yes, dentists are also doctors, don't make jokes. And there I was in that college, and there was this amazing fest happening all the way across Chennai in IIT called Sarang, which is famous throughout India. And I was so excited, but I was also so bummed because my college was not participating because they don't believe in participating. And I felt so upset that, like, where am I? Why am I in a place like this? This is against everything that I believed in and everything that I've grown up knowing. And that day I made a decision. I said, you know what, it's more important my self-preservation, the kind of person I've grown up to be, the things that I believe in are more important. And I made a very conscious decision that day. I woke up early in the morning, I took my guitar, I walked out of campus to the bus stop at 6 o'clock in the morning, took a bus all the way across Chennai. I didn't even know how to speak in Tamil. I registered, ironically, as a representative of my college, without them knowing. And I participated in solo singing. Of course, I didn't go with a band because nobody else was participating. And I went and sang this song in an auditorium just like this at Sarang. And the weird thing is I won. And it was so weird because I had never done something. I have always been a nerd and a goody two-shoe in school. I used to listen to my teachers. I used to do everything by the books. And that was the first day in my life I did something unexpected. I did something against my nature, but at the same time I was listening to the voice inside my head, and I just went with it. And I felt so good and so liberated and so validated that day that it was a turning point for me, and there were so many more that followed. But at this point, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Nikhita, an accidental singer. Um, I was in dental school, and now here I am singing in films. And the journey has been incredible. I'm so fortunate, first of all. Thank you so much for calling me and to think that I'm deserving enough to speak. Um, Honestly, I cannot give you anecdotes from my life. I've barely lived. I was thinking about what to speak about, and I realized something, that there's been one constant theme in my life which I've been able to relate to, and that's don't put me in a box. So there I was, a dental student, and I happened to meet A.R. Rahman sir. In fact, I joined KM Music Conservatory because Usha auntie asked me to check that place out, and I did. And they didn't have a full-time course for someone like me because I was already in a full-time course studying every day till 4 o'clock in the evening. And that place became my escape, and I started going there every day. I was doing a part-time course which was actually designed for little kids, after school to go and study music. But I did it anyway because I love music. I've grown up learning Odissi, learning Hindustani classical music, and I loved that place. And that's how I met A.R. Rahman sir. And I don't know if I have bold and brilliant things to talk about, but I have definitely met some amazing people in my journey so far who have definitely shown me the path and given me the confidence to be here in places like this and talk to you guys. And I remember I had sung for A.R. sir. My first song was actually in Tamil, ironically. The same city, the same place that terrified me and made me feel alienated was the language in which I sang my first film song ever. And I think it takes visionaries to even impart that kind of confidence in you, because I keep thinking even now, how did A.R. sir think that I would even have what it takes to sing an entire song in Tamil, a language that I don't speak, I don't understand. It's amazing how life surprises you when you don't confine yourself into boxes. Had I had a preconceived prejudice about different languages, and I did. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I'm an extremely broad-minded person. I remember teenager me was a little narrow-minded. I was that, little Angrez kid who used to only listen to English music. I had no idea what people were listening to. I didn't even know what Bollywood was doing at that point in time. Very ironically, I'm singing in films right now. And I remember doing my first show, I was opening for Benny Dayal. And I asked the manager, can you send me a list of songs that people listen to? Because the last Bollywood song I heard was in the 90s, was an A.R. Rahman album, and I have no idea what people listen to nowadays. And I realized that we all confine ourselves. We have prejudices about genres, about people, about cultures, about states. Oh, she speaks in that language. Oh, he comes from that place, or he's from there and she's from there. And we always compartmentalize each other. We compartmentalize ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to think outside the box. And that's something that I've consciously tried to break. And I think it's opened up so many new things for me. I started my music career with Tamil, and then Telugu, and then Kannada, Malayalam, all these languages I do not speak. And thank you. And I remember A.R. sir, 2-3 songs down the lane, I was still in college. I was doing a session with him, and he asked me, "So Nikhita, what's your plan in life? What are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know," because we are all streamlined into the different jobs and professions that we do. So I said, "I don't know, so I guess I'm going to finish my college and then apply for masters, because that's what people do." And he looked at me and he laughed. And he said, "Are you crazy? You've just sung in 2 films and you're singing for me, and you're going to continue your career in dentistry, and you're going to continue pursuing something else. What's wrong with you? You're a musician. This is what you're doing." And I've been a very pragmatic person. It's very hard for me to break out of my shell and to focus on, the unknown. But then I realized that life throws all kinds of things at you, and you really need to know how to embrace it. And you need to know how how to be okay with not knowing what's coming next, and to be okay with not being compartmentalized into that box. That is the box you belong to. Be inside that. Why? You know, when you stop thinking like that, you automatically open your doors to so many things. And from that, those few songs and that career completely changed my course altogether. Then I sang my first song in Hindi, in Bollywood, and then there was no looking back. And that's the beauty of life, and the beauty of how when you start breaking those walls around you and you start, you know, not putting yourself in a box, anything is possible. Having said that, I still face this even now in my career, and I'd like to give you a little example for it. So this is a song that I sang for Pritam Da, which goes something like this. कुछ तो है तुझसे राबता, कुछ तो है तुझसे राबता, क्यों है ये, कैसे है ये, तू बता, कुछ तो है तुझसे राबता. So that's one song. And then I sang this song, then I rapped in this film called Manmarzi, I don't know if you guys know this, for Amit Trivedi, which goes something like this. Jhalli, 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 haan hai ye jhalli, apni hi dhun mein challi, akkar mein firti kalli, na jaane kedi galli. So that was a rap that I did. And then there's a song I sang in this film called Stree, which goes something like this. Tanik aao kavi haveli pe. So that was... If you think about those three songs, you think about the first song that I sang, they don't sound anything like each other. And this is not me bragging. In fact, this is just the opposite, because you will not believe the number of times someone has come up to me and said, are you the same person who sang that song? Is that the same? How did you sing that song? Because it sounds nothing like this song. And how did you sing this? And that person is not praising me. Huh? That person doesn't come up to me and say, wow, you sing so, you know, whatever, you have different styles. They'll be like confused. They'll have this bewilderment on their face. And honestly, it amuses me. I know that that person's not complimenting me, but for me, it's a compliment, because I feel that I don't have to belong to any box. I don't have to be that kind of singer or be this kind of singer. Initially, people used to just make me sing item songs or party songs, because apparently that's my style, or that's what they think is my style. But the point that I'm trying to make through all of this is that we all have our own styles, and they don't have to belong to any particular path. And it's okay to not fit into those boxes. It's okay to not belong to some compartmentalized corner, because you know, you are your own person, and everyone has their own vibe, and everyone has their own self, and it's okay to embrace that. And honestly, when people criticize me for not sounding like myself, I'm okay with it, because that's who I am. That's my identity. And that's the message that I have for you guys. And I'm going to end with another anecdote where when I get interviewed now, because I'm apparently a celebrity, I still can't get over that. I'm still very overwhelmed and underwhelmingly unassuming in these interviews. And they ask me, you know, okay, so what's your background? And I say, oh, I was actually in dental school, and I'm doing this very accidentally. I don't know how I became a singer, because they'd be like, how did A.R. Sir find you? And I said, this is a very long story, and it's not one of those stories where I sat outside a studio and, you know, like pestered a music director for years and years. There are people who did that, and they are commendable for being focused individuals. I'm not a very focused, ambitious individual. I kind of just go with the flow. That's my vibe. Again, I've accepted who I am. But then I tell them about how I'm a dentist, and I was studying in dental school, and this is how it happened. And the first question, believe you me, everyone has ever asked me is, oh, so did you drop out of college? Or, you know, like, what was your story? Why? Musician equals dropout. Musician equals somebody who's probably not good at studies. So, again, we as humans love to put people in boxes, love to stereotype, love to assume the most expected thing out of somebody. And I say very proudly, no, I'm extremely pragmatic. I couldn't have lived with myself going through 4 years of college and not completing the 5th. So I did do my degree. In fact, I did very well. Thank you very much. And that's, I think, the point that I'm trying to make all this while, that you don't have to confine yourself to what society is trying to make you. And all I want to say is, don't put yourself in a box. Thank you.